If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post a new Tom Brady video every day.
There is one conversation that no longer should be had, will be had, plain and simple. What we saw last night on the world stage of the Super Bowl, what the international football-loving audience saw, what I saw with my own two eyes last night, was the minting of a goat.
When the Pats were down to the Falcons at 28-3 debacle, I actually wasn't thinking about the odds. I was thinking about comforting my son. I mean, we're going to lose. No one comes back from that. Not in a Super Bowl, really not in any game. Watching them complete that comeback, tears in my eyes, kind of shrugging and telling my son, I guess I was wrong, you can win them all. If I scripted a story with a main character that's done everything Tom has done, my editors and all of you would say, get the f*** out of here. That could never happen. And yet, here we are, no matter the odds.
Now, we had Troy Aikman on this show last Friday before he called Super Bowl 51 on Fox. We had him on a fun week in Houston. And to all folks out there who are listening in Houston, who are watching on Root Sports in Houston, where we've been on since Jump Street, you guys were awesome. The hospitality was tremendous. That stadium is world class. What a big-time feel it is to have a big-time event in NRG Stadium. A great spot for a big game. We had Troy Aikman there in Houston, and he said that Brady making his 7th Super Bowl was enough for him to end the conversation about whether or not Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time.
At halftime, like, what was the message, and did you guys genuinely believe you were going to come back and win that game?
It runs every Super Bowl now.
Every Super Bowl.
We saw Julian Edelman the other day, and we're like, hey, that catch you made, every Super Bowl season, forever, it's going to be talked about.
It's going to be, yes, 100%. And my answer to that is so after we went in the locker room, there was no yelling, there was no screaming, there was no, get the like, it was none of that. It was Josh McDaniels coming in the locker room, and it was like, hey, do you guys think we can win? Everybody was like, hell yeah, we think we can win. Like, what kind of question is that? All right, well, are you guys willing to put in the work to win? All right, yeah. So we like, damn right. So what's the next step? You know what I'm saying? And then he obviously put in the game plan of what we're going to change and what we're going to do in the second half.
And last night at halftime, everybody's all over TB12. I was even hearing from friends and fans on Twitter, conversations that maybe Garoppolo could be doing a better job. We'll have a conversation about that at 844-204-RICH and definitely throughout this week. But what we saw last night is a conversation ender as to who the greatest quarterback in the history of the National Football League is. Now, we could have a conversation about who's the greatest football player of all time. Tom Brady put himself on the pantheon of Jerry Rice and Jim Brown last night. Jerry Rice is clearly the GOAT in terms of wide receivers. Jim Brown is the GOAT of running backs. And you can have a conversation about Emmitt Smith, etc. But you could ask you could even ask Emmitt. Ask Marshall, ask any of the Hall of Fame running backs we've had on here. They look at Jim Brown and say he's the GOAT. Tom Brady's the GOAT quarterback. Period. End of story. I don't want to hear about cheating. Those footballs were just fine last night. He didn't have the plays. He didn't have videos. If he did, they sure as hell wouldn't be down by 25 points in that game.
It's hard to sit there and watch, but I remember having just kind of looking down the row. I was kind of sitting at the end, and I remember looking down the row, and everybody was just totally defeated. Oh my God, it's 28-3. Like, are we going to get blown out? Like, we're getting embarrassed. But, we always said, I just don't ever count Tommy out.
What he did last night was get his team in position to win. Keep his team in the game. Even throwing a pick six. To be the leader on that sideline, as we saw him and heard about after the game from all the players.
Meanwhile, you just see Brady over there in some kind of different atmosphere.
Hey.
Yes, bro. Yeah. He was in a different.
Hey, Vinatieri has that. There's a couple there's like some sort of
See, people don't believe me when I say that.
So I went out,
it's different.
I went out for our first game winner when I was holding for Vinatieri. And normally very jovial, very like interesting. As we're jogging on the field, I'm like his caddy cutting jokes like, hey, let's do this. Let's aim at that fat dude right back here. There's a little bit of a win. Let's have a good time. You got it. I'd ask him, hey, you ready, old man? He's like, yup. And it's going through. First game winner, I go out there, try to crack jokes. It's a stone cold Adam Vinatieri coming out on the field. He takes a step. I'm like, you ready, old man, or whatever? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm like, God damn. I turn around. He was a zombie back there. I have no idea what's happening. Obviously, the ball goes through. He does his entire thing, and it's like he snaps out of it. Only a couple dudes can get there, and that's what Tom has. I think,
and that's not something you can't just. That can't just happen. It's just natural. I can't go out there and just be like I can go to game mode, but I can't be like. Next one. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, bro,
there's levels to this.
It's natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're born with that. You know, you're born with it. I don't know if you can develop that. You're born with that feature. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people don't get that feature. You know, I wish I did have that feature, but a lot of people don't get that.
He was just the cutest little brother.
My parents are the two most important people.
That was a hard year. They found out she had breast cancer.
Welcome to Super Bowl 51.
Mom, I told you we're going to get here for you. 28-3, man.
Got locked in now, laser focus.
We're in business.
And completed the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history.
We won the game, but my mom won too, and my family won too.
With him going 21 of 27 for 246 yards and 77.8% completion percentage in the fourth quarter and overtime of a game that they entered trailing by the score of 28-9. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it anymore.
The first Super Bowl I ever covered was January 18th of 1976. It was Super Bowl 10, the first Dallas-Pittsburgh Super Bowl, way before your time.
Old Tulane Stadium?
No, it was in Miami at the Orange Bowl. Back in your stomping grounds. And all these games I've seen since then, I've never seen anything like that game. And all the great games in other sports I covered, the U.S. upset of the Soviets in the 1980 Olympic hockey game in Lake Placid, I was there. The Montana to Dwight Clark, the catch game, Candlestick at the end of the 1981 season, I was there. The Kirk Gibson walk-off with 2 down in the 9th to beat the vaunted Oakland A's and Dennis Eckersley, I was there. And yet I've never seen anything like this. This was the most amazing game I've ever witnessed. And maybe I'm being a little prisoner of the moment, but I don't think so. It's starting to sink in. That was the most improbable comeback in all of sports history, where there was no way, because the New England Patriots of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick were all-time bad, followed by all-time great.
All-time
great. And I did say that back when we launched this show on September 6th. I said, this is going to be the year, Brady. He's going to be the Super Bowl MVP. But not in my wildest dreams or nightmares did I ever see it happening like that happened. And I'm ready to plunge and go this far. And we'll talk about this throughout the show. But for me, I'm the biggest Michael Jordan fan on the planet, but now I have to be objective. I believe that last night, Tom Brady didn't just eclipse the great Joe Montana within the confines of Super Bowl and NFL. I believe last night, Tom Brady eclipsed the man, MJ, Michael Jordan, as the greatest clutch player in all of sports history.
That's it for this video. I post a new Tom Brady video every day, so please like and subscribe. That way you'll always have a new Tom Brady video to watch every single day.